Mr. Winston Navarro, for starters, who again just had the vision to take something like this. And so I want to make sure, I also want to thank the Pachecos who are out there making more money and handling that gold mine they got out there. And so you guys will be hearing from them real soon as well as Mr. J.C. Rangel, the VP of Sales and Partner as well. Guys, we have some amazing leadership. And I'm going to just tell you, just to start this thing off, one of the people I did a three-way phone call with today, when I asked him what he liked best about what he saw when he looked at the company, he said he liked that the owners cared about people. He liked that the owners were faith-based, but he really liked that the owners put people first. And so again, that is a very, very important thing. And the people who are outside the company can see it. I want to make sure you guys are well aware of that and make sure you don't take that and take them for granted. Okay. And so right off the bat, definitely want to make sure that we do a little bit of a housekeeping and make sure, again, you guys stay on mute. Also want to do a little bit of paying what they say, paying the bills. We have a Super Saturday training coming up. Mr. J.C. Rangel is your featured speaker and presenter that day. He's going to do a presentation that morning. First, they'll take a 15-minute break, and then they're going to do a training, getting started training and solar training, which is going to be exceptional. I will be in attendance, and he's been gracious enough to allow me to do a piece of that training. And so I'm excited about that. So make sure you get the tickets if you can, and make sure you also have guests that will be there. Also, you want to make sure that you are well aware that we do our presentations every Tuesday and Thursday. That's going to be at 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And myself and my partner in crime, Mr. Kevin Moreno, will be hosting those calls tomorrow. And then I'm quite sure we're going to have two of the best, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. J.C. Rangel and Mr. Pacheco on Thursday. And so again, but that's to be determined. So, but regards to who's going to be doing those presentations, guys, you have people who are at the top of the company actually doing the work for you. They're doing the heavy lifting for you. The people with the credibility, they're out there where people can see them, and they're explaining this opportunity on your behalf. So all you have to do is put the people in the way of the presentation. Okay. 8 points accountability, man. I'm looking at the chat on WhatsApp, and 8 point accountability is dominating. You guys are rocking and rolling. You guys are putting in your daily accountability, and we love it. And the thing that we love about it is that we are seeing the numbers reflect what the 8 point accountability system is actually creating. Okay, it's creating, it's basically being your mirror, right? And so when you're looking at your 8 point accountability and you're seeing a lot of zeros, and if you see zeros, guys, I'd rather you see zeros than not do an accountability at all, because when you see those zeros, it will, and you actually post it, right? It makes you want to make sure that you don't have as many zeros tomorrow. And then you'll have even less on Thursday, even less on Friday, even less on Saturday. And guess what? You may not have any zeros at all on Sunday. But just making sure that you do the 8 point accountability every day, that's what matters. Because again, it's not about who you are when everybody can see you, is who you are when nobody's around. And when you're doing that 8 point accountability, you don't need a mentor, you don't need a coach. You just need to see what your efforts and activities are, and that'll tell you, if it's
Can
activity.
you get the bundle thing?
And so
Yeah.
let's make sure we make sure we continue to fire off on the 8 point accountability system. Now, the thing about that is this: the 8 point accountability, guys, what happens is when we see you doing that and we see the numbers start to reflect, guess what? We also see people who are in the 2020 group who are not performing, people who are not showing up on the Wednesday calls for accountability, people who are not turning in their 8 points. And guess what we're doing? We're removing them from that 2020 group. And that 2020 group is like the build SEALs, like the Navy SEALs of our company, right? And so, and again, this is not just for 8 points. At some point in time, we're going to evolve that small group into a small group, and now it's going to be business mentoring, business coaching, and everything else. We're going to now start to build on top of it once we know we have the right people in that group. So again, you should be fighting to get in that elite group. It's only 30 people in that group right now as we speak. And so 2020, make sure you're fighting to get in there. Make sure people are seeing your numbers and seeing your results. And so this is what I want to do right now, guys. It might be a little something new. What I would like for you guys to do right now, this is shout out time. Okay. Celebration, write this down, type this in. Celebration equals elevation. Okay. Celebration equals elevation. Okay. And so shout out time, guys. If you have somebody on your team, right, that has done some exceptional things, like, they've already gotten their 4, or they got one today, one brand new recruit today, or they got I turned in a bill today, or, they've actually finished the certification today, or these whatever they did, guys, that's worthy of being celebrated. Go ahead and put their names in the group. Let's go ahead and celebrate them, guys. Let's make sure we show them some love, because again, what gets rewarded gets repeated. Okay. And it's one thing for you to celebrate a person in private, right? But when you turn around and celebrate that person in public where everybody else can see it, it has a profound impact. Okay. But this is what I want you also to do. Make sure that you don't celebrate a person in public and never celebrate them in private. When you do that, that's manipulation. When you do that, normally it's an ulterior motive, in it. And plus that person, will actually take that as resentment, not as genuine. So again, learn how to celebrate all day, every day, and continuing through this process, guys, as we're going through the call. When you have people who have done some things, and I'll just give you like Sarah George, door to door. I think she's at about 8, 8 bills that she's turned in. Her mom is turned in. Dr. Arlene George has turned in, I think, 4 bills herself. I have a young lady who just got started with, as a matter of fact, Angel Trend sponsored a young lady by the name of Julie on. Juliana has been on fire. She's been doing 3 ways and lifelines with me for the past 2 to 3 weeks. She's been bringing me on business partners left and right. We actually have a huge event that we're going to be doing on Monday when I get back from California for a whole entire group of realtors. Then she sponsored a young lady who is just a powerhouse as well, Michelle Tran, who she had a goal to do 4 enrollments today. And she's like, let me get off this call, because after the second 3-way, let me get off this call so I can do this 3-way real quick, so I can go ahead and get this other enrollment. And so Michelle is killing it. Right? She got 2 people started today, and I think it's 3 now, because she wanted to wait, for that person to do a 3-way with me to have him enroll, and he was ready to go. I said, no, take the money and then put him on the phone with me as a lifeline. And because when the bus shows up at the bus stop, okay, that's that enrollment, and those doors close and they move on. The be back bus doesn't come back. Okay, anything can happen. Life can happen, and all of a sudden, you go from having someone who wanted to start it, who was ready to go, to having somebody now you got to chase and try to convince. So again, these are just some people I wanted to, and there are so many more people. Kyrie out of New York, is killing the game right now. And so he is
Oh, so they have to write a different prescription that's covered under the insurance?
Angel.
Hey, Sam, if you need help,
Okay. All right. I appreciate it, buddy. Thanks, John. Let me make you co-host, buddy. Appreciate it. There you go, John. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. So let's get back to it, guys. So make sure here. All right, so let's make sure, guys, again, make sure that you are recognizing your people. Make sure you have, the people who are doing amazing things. Invest all of your time with them, because those are the people who are going to take the gauntlet and take the battalion and the what do you call it? Take the baton and run with it. Like I said, I got a guy by the name of Kyrie who is in New York. Kyrie is on fire. He's lighting it up right now. And I can't wait till he one day gets the opportunity to come on and share with you guys how he's killing it with the referrals. And so people are giving him lists of 30 referrals, 35, 40 referrals. And he's killing it when it comes to cashing in on those referrals and getting bills. He just got started, turned in a bill today. He's been turning in bills, guys, and so he's rocking and rolling. And so definitely want to make sure anytime you have people like that, guys, you celebrate them, you recognize them, and you open up your calendar and your time to them. Okay. And I'm gonna just tell you, they will do the same exact thing, because what you do, with the people in your group, especially if you do something wrong, 80% of the people in your group are going to adopt to that. And that's going to be echoed down in depth. Okay. When you do something right, you do something powerful, impactful, 20% of your group, the ones that have character, those are the people who are going to run with you. And that's going to echo down in depth as well. And keep in mind that 80% of all your results, guys, are going to come from the 20%ers. So don't waste your time, okay, with people who you have to beg, push, plow, poke and prod, and to get off of, the keister and move and build. Let the system do that for you. Let the system and everybody who's running and leaving them do that for you, guys. When I'm looking at the door-to-door, I'm not a door-to-door guy, but when I'm looking at the door-to-door crew, these guys at these trainings and these guys at these results out here in these streets, I'm like, okay, so I'm not doing that, but I got to do something that's going to give me some personal momentum that I can match theirs, right? Give me some personal energy so I can match theirs. I appreciate what they're doing because they're pushing me, okay? And so when you're looking at all these people who are turning in bills, look at people who are mentoring on the back end, making all this money, guys, let that motivate you, let that inspire you, right? And so, but I just wanted to give the shouts out to everybody, guys, who are in the company training, who are in the company building, who are in the company sharing your story, sharing your photos, sharing your videos, because again, everything that you share, guys, is inspiring somebody. And you may not know that individual, but I'm going to say, mark my word, guys, if you are in the hunt and you're sharing everything that you're doing, okay, you're serving the system, what's going to happen is in July, when we have our big event, somebody's going to come up to you and say, you know what, Mr. Bonilla, man, I really appreciate, what you did for me, and you don't know it, but I watched your training. Okay. Ed, Kevin, John, Idris, you guys, Hans, all you got, man, you don't understand how you impacted me, which, and I'm not talking about the owners or myself. Okay. I'm talking about you guys who are not the actual trainers. People come up to you and tell you, you actually helped them get their business started and you inspired them. And so I'm just telling you, you don't know who's watching, guys, but people are watching. All right. So that's one of the things I wanted to show you guys. Just a shout out, celebration is elevation. Also, a lot of you guys are in the right place and at the right time, but you're the wrong person. Okay. A lot of you guys are self-sabotaging. Okay. And so a lot of you guys are just information, on constant, what I say, you're constipated with information. A lot of you guys know exactly what to do, but you're not doing it. Okay. And a lot of you guys, if you know somebody who's in your group right now, who's getting ready to get ready, who's about to do something, who's fenced to do something, and that's what they're telling you. They just fired up. I'm fired up about this opportunity, but they're not firing off, right? They're not getting off the line. Put a one in the chat for me, please. If it's you, just say me. Right. Let's just remember this. This is a safe place. This is a big boy, big girl conversation. This is the Millionaire Mentorship call, not the $1,000 mentorship call. Right. And so it's okay. And transparency is key. Like I said, transparency. Again, thank you, Dale. Appreciate you, Alexander. Appreciate you because, guys, you're helping people be transparent. Not enough people tell the truth. That's why a lot of people fail. A lot of people are following people who are following people who are following people who are broke. And they have a broke mentality, and they'll sit there in silence and have you think that they're winning and have you think that they're growing, building, exploding, and you're following these people nowhere. Okay? And so I appreciate you guys. But some of you guys are killing your deal instead of sealing the deal. And so don't kill your deal, guys. Get in here and just start over. Remember, you're in an industry that's a forgiving industry. You're in an industry that you can draw a line in the sand today and say, you know what, I'm starting over from scratch. Okay. Forgive yourself. Okay. That's the thing is forgive yourself. So you know what? I'm just going to do everything from scratch today. I've already done the certification. I'm just going to go back to a 7-minute video and I'm going to go ahead and follow the game plan my leader gave me to begin with. And I'm just going to do everything that I'm supposed to do. Guys, and if this is your everything, I'm going to just say your day should look like it. You know, I remember one day it just hit me. So you know what was I doing? Well, when I was on my way to my first million, the answer was I had nothing else to do but that. I worked from 8 to faint. And so now I have to go back because I have what I call my "What am I doing right" journal, right? And so a lot of you guys, you got your journals that you're taking notes from the Millionaire Mentorship calls, the presentation calls, the door-to-door calls, and every training that we got. But you need to have a separate journal, okay, called your "What am I doing right" journal. Because when you're hot, when you're on the road, when you're on the street, you literally want to know, what was I wearing at that time? How was I dressing? How was I carrying myself? What was I studying? What was I listening to? Okay. How many times was I was making phone calls? How many people did I prospect? How hungry was I? Because some of you guys are sitting fat and full. Some of you guys have a really good life. And I'm gonna just tell you, that's going to be the detriment. That's going to keep you from being keep you at a six-figure and multiple six-figure person from going to a seven-figure person. Okay. That comfortable life, that nice cushy life that you have, again, you're going to have to, change your mindset. Remember, very, very successful people create the conditions in their mind that they need to succeed. And some of y'all, regardless of how wealthy you are right now, you need to be broke again mentally. You need to be just starting out again. You need to just be coming out of college again off those ramen noodles, right? And having that part-time job while you had a 12-hour class load. So go back to the start when you were at your worst on the way to becoming your best, and bring that back. Okay. But see here, ask yourself this day, and ask yourself this every day. One, in the morning, what do I have to do today to make sure the day is a successful day? And then at the end of the day, what did I do today that cost me money that I can do different tomorrow? Right. So it's kind of like a fast food restaurant. When you have a fast food restaurant, guys, you open up the books, before you open up the doors, you know how many cups you have in there, you know how many patties you have in there, you know how many bags of fries you have in there, how many salad bags you have in there, you know everything about the store. And you don't leave that store and lock it up and walk out until you did what? Run the numbers. Okay. Hit that button on the cash register, print out that thing, and you see how much stuff you sold. And now you're done for the day because you closed the books, right? Close your books, guys. This is a business. This is not a job. Okay. Make sure that you are running a business. If you ran a business like like a traditional business, if you ran a traditional business like you run your solar business, you'd run it into the ground. Okay. The reason you don't is because you don't have rent on a building. You don't have money tied into solar panels. You don't have money tied into employees. But if you did, you do better. I can guarantee it, because you do better on your job. Right? I can just tell you right now, a lot of you work better for your job that's not going to free you than you will for something that will retire you and can retire you in 12 to 18 months. So,
It reminds me of Winnie the Pooh,
when I
they
left
make
my
the
when I left my
calculations.
job, guys, what ended up happening was I made a decision. I said, you know what, I am going to, work from 8 to faint in this thing. I'm gonna put myself in a position where nothing else matters. I'm burning my bridges. Yeah, I let my real estate license go so I wouldn't go back and try to do real estate again, and things got tough. And I just kept on going and kept on going and kept on going. I never quit, guys. And next thing you know, life was on autopilot. Okay. We put a lot of effort, a lot of energy, a lot of focus, a lot of studying, a lot of sacrifices, into that moment, and it paid off. Okay? And so you want to do the same exact thing for you. So when you look at the 8-point system that I talked about, consider that 8-point system your progress report. Okay. And consider your kids your parents. Think about it for a second. When you get a progress report for your kids, and it has something bad on there, you punish them, you talk to them, and you counsel them, you coach them, whatever you do, but you're not happy with them. Would your kids be happy with you if your progress report had all zeros on it for the day? If they said, "Dad, hand me your progress report. Let me see, if you how many ones, twos, and threes you got on there." You bet not have no zeros on there. If you do, I'm putting you in timeout. Would you be in timeout? Right? And so it's a good way to look at it, right? Because remember, who are you working for? You're working for your kids, you're working for your spouse. and you're working for yourself, but again, I'm gonna talk about accountability on a whole nother level. You guys talk about whys, but some of you guys really don't have whys. Okay, you have wants. Okay, and sometimes I'm just tell you, it's not necessarily about the why, it's about the who. Okay, and so as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about that now. Because this is important, and I want to make sure I have enough time to do this and finish this part. But contracts, okay, and some of my old heads, they know what I'm about to say and what I'm about to do. But contracts and fear, when you look at contracts and fear, they go hand in hand, and contracts with the right people will help you fight fear. Because some of you can't fight it on your own, and you've proven that, and that's fine. Fear is a bully, and but you got to figure out how to fight it. And this is the thing: first, you have to be able to use fear on a scale basis. So, when I look at fear, what was my biggest fears? Well, biggest fear was speaking in public because I couldn't. Okay, run on sentences, talk way too fast. I mean, it's just anything that would go wrong, could go wrong, was wrong with speaking. Anything they taught against in speech classes, I had it going on. That was horrible. I had so bad that I had to have a speech therapist, speech pathologist help me learn how to speak again, learn how to talk again. And that's how committed I was. But I was afraid of speaking because I felt inadequate. I was afraid of speaking because I was unintelligible, based on what I was selling, right? But I looked at that fear, and then I looked at the fact that my wife was working for somebody. So was I more afraid of speaking and seeking people, or speaking in public, or more afraid of my wife, having to go work for somebody who don't respect her, and look at me as somebody who can't retire her? Okay. Was I more afraid of failing, or was I more afraid of introducing myself to people in public, strangers with the 3 feet rule? Or was I more afraid of my kids growing up poor, growing up and living a life that I had to live when I was growing up poor, right? That fear of my children having a better life outweighed my fear of meeting people. As a matter of fact, my kids growing up in poverty forced me to actually talk to more people, right? And so for every fear that you have that's standing in your way, that's keeping you from doing the things that you're supposed to be doing, guys, I'm just tell you, you can come up with a greater fear to offset it. That's one. Okay. So offset your fears. Weigh your fears of the things that you're terrified of, scared of, things that you're uncomfortable with, versus the things that you really need to do and the people who you really need to do it for. Right. And so move on over to the contract real quick. So when you look at this contract, guys, this is not a normal contract. This contract is something that you can't break. See, like your car contract, which finance company, you can break that. Your credit card contract, with the credit card company, you can break that, right? Contract that you have on your mortgage, you can even break that. But when you actually have a contract, a personal contract with somebody that you love, and somebody that looks up to you, admires you, somebody who's expecting greatness and protection and provisions from you, and you write a contract with that person, guys, that one right now is going to be probably one of the strongest contracts you can ever write and sign. Okay. And what I did was, at my poorest moment, financially, not mentally, I drew out a contract with my wife, who was actually pregnant at the time with my first son. Okay? And so when I drew out that contract, and again, this is just off the top of the head. I hadn't talked about this in years, but that contract had um, everything that she wanted. Okay. Everything that she wanted. And this is the thing, I had to provide everything that she wanted in the opportunity that I was in. I couldn't go run and get a job and get those things. I had to get those things in the opportunity. So like right now, some of you say, well, I can get my wife whatever she wants. That's great. But can you get her everything she wants here and build? Okay. I can do everything I want for my kids. That's great. But can you do everything you want for your kids here and build? And so that's what I'm talking about. This is totally different. Whether you have money or not, everything that she wanted, right? It was on that contract. Everything that she ever wanted was also satisfied. Okay, by the way, everything she wanted was on that contract. Another thing that was a part of that contract that I put in there was this: if she ever seen me falling off, if she ever seen me not making calls, she ever seen me not doing presentations, if she ever seen me not building my business, she can get in my butt, right? She can really jump on me. That's in the contract. I'm giving her the opportunity to have a free fall at that moment, because if I'm serious, I'm serious. If it's a contract, it's a contract, right? I'm obligated, right? And so that's important. Right. And so there were a lot of other things in the contract that we put in there, like provisions or whatever. But at the end of that contract, it was signed. Okay. And then it was notarized. She just happened to be a notary at the time. So it made it real easy for her. Right. So, but that contract, guys, she had a copy of the contract. I had a copy. I had multiple copies of the contract because I had contracts in different places so I can see them. Yeah, and so go find, people who you can do a contract for, like mom, dad, sister, brother, cousins, nieces, nephews. And like I said, she was pregnant, right? So I did another contract. I doubled down. And so what I did, and by the way, with that contract, I looked my wife in the eyes. I held her by the hands. I said, babe, you can trust me to get this done. It's not just on paper, but you can trust me 100% to get this done. I'm going to go do everything I'm supposed to do, looking her in the eyes. And the thing about it, guys, I'm just want to share this with you. When you do that and you look your wife in the eyes and you tell her this is going to get done and there's nothing that can keep you from doing it because she's worth it, she's looking at her king at that point in time. I'm just telling you, it's different, right? It's different. And that look that you get from her, make sure it fortifies your commitment to get it done. Just one man to another, one man to many. I'm just telling y'all, just if you really love and care about the person who you're with, that's what's going to do it for you. Okay. So then I turn around and I wrote a contract out for my son who wasn't here yet. Okay. And same thing, same provisions, everything. But when instead of being able to look at him eye to eye, I put my lips to my wife's belly and I spoken to him. And I told him, like, look, you'll never have to go through the things that I had to go through. You'll never have to wear hand-me-downs. You'll never have to jump inside of trash dumpsters and pick cans and bottles. You'll never have to go to a car wash and wash a car when you're 9, 10, 11 years old. You'll never have to go and, do any of these things that I had to do, wear hand-me-down clothes, get your toys and toys for tots. I got this. This is my contract to you. Wasn't even born, but speaking that into my wife's stomach, into my son, before he even got here, right? And it was a connection for me, and it did something to me because I'm talking to my seed. Yeah, so it's contract, and then it worked so well that I did it for my second son. So I've always lived a life of contracts, and so I'm just telling you right now, it's put me in a position where now I have to go write another contract, right? And so that's what I'm going to be working on over the next 24 to 48 hours, writing a new contract for all three of them. Okay. And so I don't know what you're going to do, but that's what I'm going to do. So contracts. Now, the other thing is this, guys, a lot of us are really missing out on what I call the master key to riches. Now, there's a book, by Napoleon Hill, The Master Key to Riches, and love that book. One of my favorite chapters in that book is The Definition of Purpose. But I just want to focus on the title itself, The Master Key to Riches. So what better way to actually have, let's say, a roadmap to riches than have somebody who's already gotten there before, right? So if somebody's, I've been here, I know where the treasure is at. I didn't take it all. I left something for you, but I buried it. And I'm going to give you the roadmap, right? Without this roadmap, you'll never find it, right? So that roadmap is the master key. And the person who holds that roadmap and the master key is who? Your mentors, okay? Your mentors, I'm just telling you, a lot of you have devalued and undervalued your mentors. And I'm talking about your leaders, the person who sponsored you or their sponsor. If that person who sponsored you is a friend and they're not capable of mentoring you and getting you to a high level of success, remember, they're not your boss. And I'm quite sure they would appreciate it if you did so well that somebody above you picked you up and started working with you. Okay? This is what I want to share with you guys. When you look at Master Key, how many of you guys put me, if you work in a big company that's got a lot of different offices in it, and those offices have locks on those doors, put me in there for me, please. If you've ever worked in a building like that, or you work in a building like that right now, put me in there for me, please. I just want to make sure I'm talking to the right people, because if I don't get enough me's, I'm gonna go ahead and move on with the training, because this wouldn't even work. All right, there you go. All right. There we go. So, how many of you agree that every key that everybody who may have a key can't get in every room, right? Some of you have a key to your office, but you can't get through the front door until somebody opens it, right? Some of you guys have a key to your office, but you don't have a key to the supply closet. Okay? Some of you have a key to your office in sensitive areas, but you don't have the key to the master office, the president's office, the CEO's office. You don't have the key to every door in the place. But there are a couple of people who have, those keys. Some of y'all don't know that there's a janitor in that building that has more access to the building than you do, right? Some of y'all thought I was going to say CEO. That's a given, right? But that person who holds the key to every door, or just about every door in the building, has access to the most wealth. I want to share this with you guys. If you have built an organization, you have built a portfolio of business where you have literally start putting people in the system and bringing bills into the company, as every time you talk to a mentor and do a deal with a mentor, that's a person who has the key. Okay. Every time you bring a person into the business, and now that person does a three-way, with that person, or a lifeline with that person, the person who does that three-way or lifeline has the key. Okay? And when you look at, I'm gonna take this a little bit different. When you look at that three-way and that lifeline, I want to talk about those two things, because some of you have never been in network marketing before and you don't know what they are, and some of you have been in there and you've forgotten, or never knew what the power of it really was. The people who do the most three ways, guys, I'm gonna just say they're going to have the fastest growing businesses, and they're going to have the most sustainable businesses and most scalable businesses. Their businesses can actually withstand collapses, right? Because their businesses are built on a solid foundation. See, some of you guys want to be the person who get the credit for everything that happens in your group. And you want to be the person that goes to sponsor everybody, come back, say, look what I did. I sponsored 4 or 5 people. And you sponsor 4 or 5 people, and you're the only one know that they're in the company. You're the only one know what you taught them. We can't help them because we don't even know they exist, right? But when you do a three-way, that three-way, guys, that's when you put your expert on the phone with a prospect. That's person that has not joined the business yet. Now, you do a three-way for validation, okay? And when you do the three-way comes after you actually expose that person to one of the presentations. Okay, so all these beautiful and amazing videos that JC Rangel and the rest of the companies put together for you guys, once a person is exposed properly to the business, now what you do is, you know what, I am now going to do a three-way, because I know let's just say I have Michelle Tran, who just, again, she did 2 3 ways with me today. Michelle's going to ask that person, hey, what would you like best about what you saw in the video? They're going to tell her. And when they tell her whatever they say, guess what? She's going to say, everybody says that, because guess what? They're either going to say something about the amount of money that they owe, that they can make. They're going to say something about on their own solar company. They're going to say something about time freedom. And guess what, guys? Everybody says it. So, you know what? I'm glad that you feel that way, because, my mentor, okay, told me if I ran across some people who are extremely interested in what we got going on, he'd like to say hello, or she'd like to say hello. She'd like to answer any questions they have as well. And so when you put that person on the phone, okay, with your mentor, one, you make sure that mentor knows that you're doing a presentation so they can expect the call. Okay. Two, make sure you do all of the edification for your mentor before the call actually starts, because like leading up to the call and before the call starts, as a reaffirm who they're about to be on the phone with. One, it wants to give value to the individual who's about to speak on your behalf, because quite frankly, that person doesn't know anything about that your leader to respect what they're about to say. Okay. And if you get on that call too casual and that call is not prepared, what's going to happen is that person is going to think that they're getting on the phone with your buddy or your friend, and they're going to treat your leader like they're his buddy or her friend now. And at that point in time, your leader can't help that individual because that individual has no respect for them. Okay. So again, the person that you're about to put them on the phone with is going to work for you. You need to empower that person to move that individual on your behalf and also on their behalf. Okay. You have to learn how to protect people from themselves. Okay. In this industry, guys, we're talking to a lot of people who have uh, backgrounds in real estate who made millions of dollars, background in solar who's made millions of dollars, background in roofing and everything else, loans and everything else. They made millions of dollars. Okay. So they have a healthy ego. I'll just tell you. And so when you do the edification properly, you put the person on the phone with the individual, you want to say one thing and one thing only. Michelle, no, Sarah, this is Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, this is Sarah. And she's not calling me Mr. Bean because that's what I told her to do. She's calling me Mr. Bean at this point to set the actual stage. She's letting the person who she's inviting to talk to me know where her priority is and where her value is, right? Remember, she's already in the business. I'm already in the business. We are already on a path to making millions of dollars. So we're not in a position of need. I'm in a position of assistance. Okay. And so when that person gets on the phone and I'm introduced, that person introduces us again. This is the person I was telling you about, Mr. Bean. Mr. Bean, this is the person I was telling you about, Sarah. I got a lot of respect for him. And then I'm going to put myself on mute and put yourself on mute. At that point in time, I'm going to say, Sarah, hi, my name is Sam. Call me Sam. I want to bring myself now down to earth. Okay. Because again, it's not for me. Edification is not for me. Okay. But I want that person to know that they're talking to somebody who's down to earth, even though they're successful. Okay. So when that happens, I'm going to start, to ask questions. And that's important. I want to get to know that individual because I want to make a friend. I want to build a bond because we're going to be doing business together for a long time. Okay. And I want to know why I'm helping that individual. So I'm definitely going to ask them what they like best about what they saw, the same thing that you asked them. Okay. I'm going to ask them what their background is. So I can now start to figure out how, build is going to play a big role and how they can ease build into their life without disturbing, and sending their business into total confusion. Okay. So these are the things I'm asking. I'm asking them what's most important to you. I'm asking them what type of goals you want to accomplish financially, economically, and on a monthly basis, right? And I'm literally sharing, some of my goals. I'm actually giving them what I call my big claim. Okay. And if it's people who want to build, I'm letting them know, look, right now, and after I give them instructions, after you sign up, okay, Michelle is going to give you the link. She's going to walk you through the sign up, right? And then once she does that, she's going to give you a 7-minute video by JC Rangel, the VP of Sales. Once y'all do that, you're going to get back on the phone with me, and we're going to do a simple game plan on how to blueprint, okay, your income. Guys, write that down. Type that in, your notes, your iPad, whatever you got, whatever you're taking notes on, but blueprint your income. Okay. So when a person tells me how much they want to make per month, this is what I tell them. I'm saying, you know what? That's great. And I'm glad you know how much you want to make per month. And I'm letting them know my goal here is to make $250,000 a month in 18 months, $1 million a month in 3 to 5 years. So to make $250,000 a month, guys, I got to help 10 people make $25,000 a month. Okay. Immediately a person saying, I want to be one of those 10 people. Okay. And I'm letting them know I got to help their 10 people make $2,500 a month. Okay. And so I'm giving them a instant pre-play, if you will, on how this conversation is going to be going. But I want them to know they're on the phone with somebody who's an expert, somebody who can help them get to their goals. Because guys, in network marketing, when you guys have been in network marketing and all those companies, nobody knew how to help you get to $5,000 a month, let's known $100,000 a month. So know your compensation plan. You have 2 ways you can help a person get to any amount of money that they want to actually get to. One is the dual team monthly recurring income. Simple. We're talking about bodies, not volume, right? And then the other way is, through enrollments, installations, and overrides and all the other good stuff, right? It's calculable, right? If you can add it up, you can make it. That's why people don't make money in the industry, because they can't count, right? And so when you look at this compensation plan, guys, you can literally blueprint and map out a way for you to get to a specific amount of money, okay? And so when a person hears, guys got his stuff together, this lady's got her stuff together, they can actually help me get to my goal. When they get back on the phone with you, you go ahead and you reinforce that. You want to make sure you also manage their expectations, okay? If they give you a really big goal, it's okay. Have you ever made that type of money before? No. Okay. All right. Well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do some mile markers. We want to make sure now, in order for you to get to $100,000 a month, I appreciate that. And I love that. I said, and you want to do it in a year. If it takes you 3 years to get to $1 million a month, would you be mad? No. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and get you to $1,000 first. Okay. And so you show them how to get to 1,000. Remember, when you show a person how to get to 1,000, they can teach everybody who comes on the board to do the same exact thing. Okay. And so now you add 10,000. Okay. When you show everybody how to get to 10,000, guess what they're doing? They're going. The next thing you know, you're at 100,000 based on, explosive growth. Okay. And so learn your compensation plan. It's too simple for you not to know it. Okay. So that 3-way is going to go something like that. Make sure that that person knows that you're going to be there for them, and I'm looking forward to do business with you. Now, you should be recording every 3-way you're on. And I'm going to just say, you should be recording that, because this is how you learn. I use and I treat every 3-way phone call that I do with JC Rangel like a college course, because he's my professor. Okay. He's the guy who has all the experience. He's the guy who's got the PhD, right? And the MBA, the master banker, major bank account, right? He's done all the deals, personal and team. Why wouldn't I listen to him when he's been where I want to go and he's going where I want to go? So everything he says is, for me, is priceless. So I'm recording everything, and I'm going back over this stuff while I'm driving, while I'm on a treadmill, while I'm walking, while I'm working, while I'm around the house. I don't care. It's going to be in my spirit. You should be 3-weighing, and you should be recording. This is intimate time, exclusive time. This is when you get all the nuggets that nobody else is getting. Guys, if you want to major in solar, you want to go out there and dominate and really beat everybody to the bag, go and get as many 3-ways done as possible. Okay? Go get as many 3-ways done as possible. And I'm going to just tell you, watch how your conversation changes, and watch how your confidence level increases, because now you can articulate, what you really mean, and what a person is really asking you. You can actually answer a lot more of those questions, if not all of them. But also, don't be afraid to tell a person you don't know, or don't be afraid to tell a person, well, that's not what I do. My only job is, okay, this is what I do. And another thing is, guys, a lot of you are going to be talking to professionals. So when you're doing 3-ways, a lot of you are going to be doing 3-ways. Make sure you show people the simplicity of what they're going to be asked to do. Okay. If a person thinks they got to come in here and they got to build this business, and they got to change their whole entire life to do it, you're going to lose them. They'll never get started. They'll never take the first step. Okay. So I'll tell a person, look, if you only want to make $3,500, $7,000, $10,000 a month, $15,000, $20,000 a month just on referrals, your only job is to get the appointment, and go away. Okay. Get the appointment. It's going to take you 15, 30 minutes. Get the appointment, have a conversation, use your credibility that you built over your lifetime, your brand that you built over your lifetime, to get that appointment, and turn it over to our closers. When you turn it over to our closers, they're going to do the actual presentation. They're going to do the actual work, right? See how easy it is? I'm telling them what they're going to do, and it's nothing, right? Set the appointment, get out of the way. Set the appointment, go get another appointment. Let the closers do the closer job. And guess what? After they do that, guess who? They're going to pass it off again to another part of our system, which is Freedom Forever. Guys, we have a system. Remember, systems save yourself time, energy, money, and stress. You know what's stressful? Over talking and talking yourself out of the deal, right? So keep it real simple. Make sure they see simplicity. Make sure they see the bag, right? Based on them getting the appointment. Now, if they want to build, that's a whole entirely different conversation, and you'll show them how simple it is as well. But I just want to kind of make sure you guys are not trying to be overly impressive and making sure you're managing people's expectations. I'm not for, just let them know it's going to be simple. Next thing here is lifelines. Lifelines is basically, that's once a person gets started. So if a person got started before you even talked to them and that person's putting you on the phone with them, you know, your job at that point in time is to, one, make sure they know that you're going to be available. Okay, make sure that you're going to be there to help them. Make sure that they know that they can count on you, and that the person who invited them to the actual business is not going to be the only person that's going to be there to help them. Because as a lot of times, I'm just telling you, a lot of people are judging their success based off of the person that they joined, and if they never see anybody else, they don't really see the success that they really desire. So even if they get started, they'll quit. Okay, but if they get on the phone, okay, with JC Rangel, or if they get on the phone with Erica Villarreal, or they get on the phone with Mr. Bonilla, or they get on the phone with all these people who we have, Laura Johnson, you know, all these people that we have here on, Adrian Baserto, you know, you just, and they all these extra people who are saying, I'm going to be here for you, I'm going to help you as well. Guys, they feel empowered. They feel like, okay, now I'm ready to go out here and take it on. Let me go ahead and get this thing started. Let me go ahead and get this thing growing, get this thing going. That's going to help you, because when somebody comes up to them and they say something negative to them, and they take that first no, 2 no's, 3 no's, 4 no's, you'll still be able to find them. Because when a person says, no, I'm not going to do it because, you know, I heard that don't work. Well, you just talk to 2 or 3 people that said it will. They just talk to 2 or 3 people, say, I'm going to help you succeed. They just talk with 2 or 3 people that just said, you know what, I am going to make sure that I'm by your side till you win. So person's not going to quit. Okay. Talk about it all the time. Last thing I want to catch up on, guys, real quick, but make sure you're doing 3 ways and lifelines, guys. Make sure that you're, because when a person gets in, they know they have people to help. I'm just telling you, you don't understand how empowering that is, and how much more secure it fortify, how much more secure the foundation of your business is. The last thing I want to talk about is a life skill, listening. Okay, and so let me see here. Where is this at here? But this is one of the things that, again, when you're talking, a lot of you guys are not listening. You hear, okay, and you're just waiting for people to stop talking so you can start. Okay, this is very, very important. Okay, so when you look at these, and I'm giving you guys an acronym, but these listening skills are not just for your business. They can be, you know, they can be very valuable in your relationships with your children, your job, negotiating purchases, even more. So, but L, guys, L, let the person talk. A lot of you guys are infatuated with the words that are coming out of your mouth. A lot of you guys are talking to impress yourself and trying to impress other people. A lot of you guys are trying to be profound in the way you speak. As the most impressive thing about a conversation is listening to a person and listening without responding. Just let them know, pay attention to them. Show your body language is showing them that, hey, look, you literally are, you're right there in front of them. They got your eye contact. You're not on your phone, right? But you're listening, uninterrupting, because interrupting is not optional, right? That you want to dominate the listening. Let them dominate the talking. Okay. Next, be interested, not interesting. Okay. Be interested, not interesting. It's not about you at this moment. You don't want to miss it, guys. Don't compete, you know, one up the conversation with a person. A lot of you guys, how many of you guys find yourself finishing a person's sentence, right? Right. When a person's talking and saying something, you finish the sentence. That's just rude. That's not your wife. It's not your husband. Finishing somebody's sentence that you don't know is rude. Finishing your wife's sentence, yeah, that's different. Okay. Finishing your husband's sentence, that's different. But finishing somebody's sentence who's trying to talk to you and communicate with you, that's rude. And the one up thing, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, that happened to me too. Oh, you know what? I did that also. Oh, you know what? And just save some of them. 1 or 2 is cool, man. Just, you know, but just everything is not a competition. Okay. It's okay once or twice, but guys, don't, you know, give the person the opportunity to finish their statements and everything. You know, and save some of that social proof for next time. But be inviting. Be inviting. Okay. And yeah, and don't sit there with your arms open talking to the person. Be open, smile. Again, body language is important. But you want people to say, man, she gets me, he gets me. They understand me, man. I really like talking to this person. But remember, they're the only ones talking. Nobody listens to people anymore. Nobody pays people any attention anymore. Nobody gives people a time to share what's going on with their day anymore, right? And so be that person. Don't be like everybody else. S, stay on target. Stay on target. Don't get distracted, guys. Stay focused mentally and emotionally. Okay. Don't start thinking about, hey, look, this is what I'm gonna say next. Or this is why they'll be great. You're thinking about, everything that's gonna make them great, to make you a lot of money, right? Just stay focused, stay on target. T, test your understanding. Okay, test your understanding. Let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's just say, John is me and John are talking, and I asked John a question, and I say, oh, John, let me get this straight. Okay, and I repeat it back to him. So if I'm hearing you right, John, and I repeat it back to him, right? But repeat it back, guys, at this, because what happens is it disarms the person and it builds up trust. It lets the person know that you really care. It lets the person know that you're paying attention and that you want clarity. You want to make sure you understand it. So again, test your understanding. Again, if I'm hearing you correctly, could you just say, and ask them and let them talk again. Let them go back at it. E, evaluate and process the data. Okay, evaluate and process the data. Reflect. Okay, deliver the remedy or the prescription. Right. So when the person's telling me, hey, look, because I always ask the person, when you become a part of our company, making $20,000 a month is going to do what for you? Right. I'm asking questions. If anything can change in your life right now, economically or financially, what would it be? Or what would change in your life if the finances were right, or if the finances were where you would be? Yeah, people tell me, you know what, I have investment goals. I have, I want to buy property, or I want to move into a house, my first house, or I want to take my family on trips, whatever. I want to put my kids to college, whatever it is. You're listening, guys, and you're taking information in, and you're getting what I call intel. In the military, we call it intel. Okay. And what's happening is people are telling you what you need to know to recruit them, what you need to know to enroll them. But if you're not listening, you're going to miss it. And what they're doing is they're going to disqualify you, and they're going to join, but they're going to join with somebody else. And you'll see them at a meeting one day, or you'll see them on a Zoom one day, and you're going to be upset. And that upset and that frustration is going to be on you. That'll be your fault, right? But when you deliver the remedy and you deliver the prescription, if a person's coming up with some reasons why they shouldn't do the business, and it sounds like excuses, what happened, guys, have empathy, not sympathy. Okay, have empathy, not sympathy. You know what? I understand you're going through this right now, and just let me know when you're ready. That's sympathy. Okay, empathy is I understand, but okay, I understand you're going through this right now, Tasha. But what's going to happen if you don't find a remedy for that right now? What's going to happen if things stay the same? What's going to happen if you can't make more money and solve this situation? Okay, so empathize, not sympathize. Come up with a remedy. Come up with a prescription. So you say you need $2,000 a month, Tasha. Listen to what I'm saying. $200 a month. I mean, $200 down, $100 a month. Again, you do one deal a month. That's $3,500 on average. Okay, so that's going to take care of that challenge that you are facing. Okay, and so that's the thing. I want just make sure you and get a person to understand what's going on. Slow everything down, bring everything back to what they said the problem was, or what you identified the problem to be. Come up with the resolution. Come up with remember, your job is to solve what challenges that people are going through. That's what you get paid to do. Find a problem and solve it, right? Encourage them, let them know that they can do it, especially when they're doing it with you. They're working with the best. Everybody on here, when you're talking to a person, they should know that they're working with the best. That even if you're not the best, you better say it, because again, that's an affirmation. And you'll say it so much that you start to believe it. You'll say it so much that you'll start actually taking the necessary steps to become the best. but they need to know that you believe in yourself and that you believe that you can help them, because that's where the true encouragement comes. Remember, a lot of people are going to come to you with fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Okay. And you're going to have to eliminate all of that, if not most of it. Okay. But learn how to tell a person, even if you don't tell them like this, give me 1% of your trust, I'll earn the other 99%. Okay. Even if you don't use that terminology, make sure you give them that understanding. Look, Tasha, I just got started too. But the thing I do know is that ever since that I've worked with, Brenda Nava, she's always been there for me. She's always helped me out. She's always did my three-way phone calls. She's always been making sure I'm on the calls. She's never left my side one time. And I know for a fact if she did it for me, she'll do it for you. Remember, you don't have to be the savior. You don't have to be Superman or Superwoman. You just have to have the answer. Okay? That's all you have to have is the answer. So notice the body language and the signs of agitation, signs of stress, signs of disbelief. Okay. And when you actually have, the ability to see these things, guys, you can really, work with it. Just be patient with a person. So you know what? Right now, what are you uncertain about? When a person normally says they have to think about it, it's like either they don't believe, that they can do it, they don't believe in the company, or they don't believe in me. Which one is it? Okay. So which one is it? And just sit there. Don't say anything else. And let them say, no, it's not any of that. Okay, so what is it? Because like J.C. Rangel said, you heard it in the presentation, it's not a presentation, it's an IQ test. And I know you're smart in that. I know you see this. And I'm not here to convince you. I just want to make sure that you understand that this is happening and it's going to happen for somebody, even if you don't take, the link and enroll with it. Okay. When we talked about the problems that you're having, were you looking for a way to get out of those problems, or are you just looking for somebody to talk to? Remember, these are questions that you need to be asking people. Were you serious when you said you want to go out here and make $20,000 a month, or were you just jiving? Okay. Ask a person, guys. Look, I mean, just how bad if a person said, I'm gonna get back with you, tomorrow, let's talk, let's get back tomorrow, I'm gonna sign up, and it's a week later, call them back. Say, hey man, hey Jake, were you serious when you said you wanted to make $20,000 a month, or were you just pulling my leg? Or were you just shucking me? Okay. Were you just nice guying me? Okay. And so ask a person, put them on the spot. If the person makes a commitment to you and they don't keep their commitment, put them on the spot. Okay. And then if a person don't sign up, that's fine. That's what you do. Say, look, this might not be the right time for you. It might not, just take it away. Okay. You want to take it away. You want to get closure, even because the thing about it is you'll continue to chase them if you don't. Okay. I'm just telling you, take it away right away. Look, Jake, this might not be for you. It might not be the right time. It might not be the right opportunity for you. Either way, I'm gonna let you off the hook because I know we guys, you my boy. You don't want to hurt my feelings. It's not gonna hurt my feelings to say no, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save you from having to tell me no, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our thing. And I'm still love you, still answer my phone, gonna be ducking down my calls, but this is what I want to do. Can I at least let you know how the business is doing? Can I at least let you know what if we're winning, how we're winning, and how we're building, and my successes? Because I want to make sure that I at least keep you in the loop. Can I do that? Yeah. Oh yeah. I can do that. Okay. Now that's a question. Another question is this. Let me ask you a question, man. Look, this probably ain't the time for you or the opportunity for you, but let's just say this. You mind if I check back with you in 3 months? Okay. Yeah. Put them in a box, right? And so what happens is this, guys. When you take it away from them and you let them off the hook, right? Make sure that it's your job, it's your obligation to make sure they see everything that's going on in your business on social media. Because guess what? People be lurking even if they don't be liking, right? I'm just telling you, they checking for you. They checking for you. So when you actually on Facebook and you celebrating, you having a good life, and you getting those closing, and you all them site surveys, you got freedom vans over here, and you taking pictures in front of them and selfies in front of them, and you got it's popping, right? What's going to happen is you're going to get some phone calls, you're going to start getting some text messages, you're going to start getting some emails, and you're going to start getting some inquiries. And hey, man, how's that thing going? What thing? The solar business. Oh man, it's booming. So okay, we got so much sun we can't run out of it. So I mean, what? I mean, it's what's going on? How's everything going with you, man? I'm fantastic. I just want to run it and see if we can catch up on that. Well, let's talk. And I'm gonna just tell you, remember, that's how that works, guys. When you remember, if y'all didn't learn this in high school, right? You'll never learn it. What you run from will chase you, right? Guys, I'm gonna tell you, when you saw a hot chick, and I'm gonna end with this: you saw a hot chick in school, and you hounded her. She ran from you, and you saw her running after the guy who ran from her, who didn't want nothing to do with her, who treated her like this is like, you know what, you just a regular normal chick, and she ran after him. So when you turn around and you go the other way, your prospects do the same exact thing. They start treating you like you the hot chick, right? I'm just saying, you become desirable. You become the valuable person, right? Because they know that you don't need them, right? They know for a fact that when they see you being celebrated, they see you being, with all your accolades, they see you with all your posts, they see you living life, they see you traveling, they see you making money. Now all of a sudden, they don't see themselves in that picture and they want to. Okay. And so they're gonna take that moment and open that door and walk back through it. Just don't make them feel bad for not doing business with you guys. Another thing is this entitlement. Nobody's entitled to do business with you. I don't care what their relationship is with you. Business is business. Okay. And if you can say no to somebody who's not kin to you, you can say no to somebody who is. Okay. Leave your family alone. Don't hold your family hostage because they know that you're not a serious business person. They know that you're not a person who's going to help them recruit, sponsor. They know that you're not a person who's going to help them get bills. They know that you're a lazy person. They know that you're a procrastinator. They know that you don't win in everything you do. So leave your family alone. When they tell you no, leave them alone. Okay. What they're telling you is what they see in you right now. And what your job is to do is to show them somebody different. Okay. That's what your job is to do. Because I let people on social media teach my friends and family how to treat me. Okay. That's I'm gonna just tell you, third party credibility, just like a three-way, we just talked about it. Third party credibility is very, very powerful when they see people celebrating you, right? Just like when I'm on the phone and I talk to Michelle and I tell her people how powerful it is to have an opportunity to work with her. She's not me, but she don't have to be. This lady got it together. She's rocking and rolling. You need to be happy. She's the one sponsoring you because you could do a whole lot worse, right? I'm gonna make sure I give that. That's the power she gave me to give it back. I want to empower her. Let social media and your results empower you. So let's see here. I know we're gonna wrap this thing up. I just want to make sure, I know Mr. JC Rangel was on here earlier. JC, if you want to jump on and say anything, got any parting shots, we can do that. The Pacheco's, if you guys are on here, or Mr. Winston, I know Winston is not on here, but if any of you guys want to say anything, Kevin, if you want to say something, whatever, you got any parting shots, that'd be great. Otherwise, we'll lock it out. All right. Good deal, guys. Well, let me do this because I know a lot of y'all for social media. I just got through talking about social media. I'm gonna put it back on gallery so you guys can take your screenshots. So you can go ahead and take a screenshot if you guys want to, and then we'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. You're welcome, guys. Okay. And so again, tomorrow night, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Myself, Kevin Moreno, will be rocking out the presentation call. Right after that, there will be a Spanish presentation call at 8 o'clock. Make sure you have your guest on the line. And then on Thursday, we'll be doing the English presentation again at 7 Central. And the Super Saturday, guys, again, can't say it enough. If you're in the area, get there. So be there, be square. Get your derriere in the chair. And we're out.
Thank you, Mr. Bean.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.